I was at MSJ from 1985 to 2003, and for the last 12 years of that time I was the principal. Look, I have lots of powerful memories from my time, and I suppose as I think about that, there's probably a theme in those, and the theme is probably something to do with gracious generosity, actually.
Wow.
I think when I think about the community as a community of young women who really responded to Mary MacKillop's inspiration and drive, a very common theme was really never see a need. And in responding to that need, the girls were extraordinarily gracious. And it didn't matter, it could be the big things like Peru Day, or it could be the Christmas drive. And I remember one particular Christmas drive where we had, during the course of that year, there had been some Kosovo refugees arrive at the local, I think it was army camp actually, I can't remember the details of where they were exactly. But the girls were involved in providing some outreach to that community. So within about the last 6 months of the year, they had this outreach to the Kosovo refugees. We'd had Peru Day, and we also had the normal St Vincent de Paul Christmas drive. And I remember being concerned that we were asking the girls and their families to keep putting their hand in their pocket for people who were on the edge or who were in need. And we had an assembly, and the girls brought down from their classrooms the laundry baskets full of groceries that were to go to the St Vincent de Paul. And I remember feeling absolutely overwhelmed with gratitude for the generosity of those families and those students. You know, as each homeroom was called and they brought forward 2 and 3 baskets of goods, when they had already been so generous to other people who were on the edge. I remember feeling almost to the teary stage in the sense of this extraordinary gratitude for their for their graciousness and for their generosity.
Wow, that sounds but powerful. Like Mary McKillop says, gratitude is the memory of God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it happened in so many different ways. It wasn't just in in the handout. It was also in being present to other students in the school community, girls who were sick or in hospital or their families, staff and students alike would reach out to whoever really had a need. And I remember, a story of a little girl in Year 7 who was really struggling coming to school. She didn't want to come to school. And, girls in Year 10 sitting with her and the peer support leaders sitting with her and supporting her and encouraging her for that first month or 6 weeks of coming to school. Another time when a girl's parent died and, the support and the enabling within the school community to be present to and to just to be available to whatever the need was. Extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, and it sounds like there's sort of changed from a sense of I to we, like in all those movements. It's
absolutely, and so community, we're in this together. This is our school, and these are our people, and the global context in which we live also needs a response, and we can respond in very many different ways. We can do it in handouts, but we can also do it in hands up. Probably because it confirmed and affirmed what we as a school community were trying to achieve. I believe education is about a number of things. It's about providing opportunities for people to grow into the fullness of life, whatever that may be for them, whether it's accepting a NASA grant to be part of a space program in America, or whether it's just being able to get a job of any sort. It doesn't make any difference so long as my life is being lived to the full, whatever that might be. And so I think we live our life to the full when we are fully in relationship with others. And that's what Jesus called us to. And so from my viewpoint on that is we had academic excellence. It was a wonderful school. The girls achieved wonderful results, but we also created young women who had a sense of social justice and the capacity to be fully in relationship with their world. And for me that was really important because that's what God calls us to.
Yeah, with hearts that are full of gratitude.
Absolutely.
Great memories.
I think I would hope that the young women who graduate from MSJ continue to be women of compassion, of graciousness, and women who have achieved to the best of their abilities. They don't have to be rocket scientists or, company CEOs or anything like that. They just have to be full human beings who have the very best of who they are, whatever it is that God's created them to be, that they actually achieve that.
Beautiful. Things you've learned in wisdom, I guess, from your time.
Things I've learned from my time at Milperra.
And since
I think the thing that I learned at Milperra, I think I personally learnt to trust my own experience and my own capacity. that I achieved, and I did things at Milperra that I would never have dreamt I could know, achieve or be. And I think to trust that and to know that it's not all up to me, that our God is in it. And I suppose the other thing I learned there was Mary MacKillop says, do what you can and leave the rest to God. And I think I learned that there.
Beautiful.
Induimini arma lucis, put on the armour of light, imagine. MSJ girls can do anything. When I first went to Milperra, we had a number of students who came from families who had been refugees or who'd come from parts of the world that were under conflict. And so education for girls was not always a value in their families. It was okay for the boys to be educated, but it wasn't always so for the girls. And one of the things that we began to see was that, you know, some of these young women were very talented young women, and it was really important for them to have a sense of their own identity and to build the capacity in themselves to live life to the full and to be able to grow into the full flowering of who their potential. And so sometimes girls would say to you things like, oh, but I'm only a girl.
Okay.
And so we began to say things to them like, MSJ girls can do anything.
Okay. So it was sort of imagining a new way of thinking and imagining
broadening their perspective on life and broadening possibility. I think that's really where it came from.
Okay.
And I remember we had a young girl who took to NASA.
Wow.
And you know, that blew people's minds, you know. We had other girls who achieved extraordinary things on the sporting field. We had other girls who took a lead role in a production. So you had academic excellence and you had personal performance and you had all of those kinds of things that were really expressions of who that person was. Like, we didn't have to come out all the same.
Right.
We could do anything.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and it's true, and it's still true, very true today.
Absolutely.
Too.
I mean, we've had a gold medal, an Olympian.
Yeah, the governor of
New South Wales.
Hello, father was a milkman, right?
Exactly. So you know, they were just ordinary girls who achieved the very best of who they could possibly be.
Yeah.
How wonderful.
Yeah, we all have that capacity.
Yeah.
Right? In Christ, we can do anything.